Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let's chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय हरे कृष्णा dear devotees welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam for all session let's recite Bhagavad Gita shloka is my voice audible is it clear or should I put on my earphones
No, it's clear, Mataji.
okay thank you So we are reciting Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8. Chapter 8. Chapter 10. Chapter 10, text 7. Okay. Does anyone need to go first? No? So we'll just go in order. Aditi Lata Mataji, Arunita, Achintadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetti tatvataha so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra samsaya. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Arunita is
Krishna
there.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Ekam vibhutam yogam cha mamyo vedi tatvataha so vikalpena yogena yukte nara samaya
Yujyate natra samshaya.
nichitena samsaya. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Achintya Dev is not here. He is in the temple right now.
Oh, acha, okay. So next will be Inba, Inya. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेति तत्त्वतः सो विकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः. Translation. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेति तत्त्वतः सो विकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Mataji, Prabhuji and Mataji are not here.
No problem. Isha.
एतां wait.
Now I can hear.
एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सविकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Krishna Ashish. Is not here. Madhava.
एतं विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सविकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. For this there is no doubt.
Rasapriya.
एतं विभूतं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सो विकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Kalpesh Prabhu is there.
No, Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tattvataha so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra sanshayah. Translation. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Lokesh.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Guru Maharaj.
Dandavat pranam Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेति तत्त्वतः सोऽविकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Lokesh will be reciting little later.
Yeah. Okay, so next is Medha and Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the Sambuddha devotees.
Dandavat pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetti tattvataha so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra samshayaha. Translation. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Medha is not here today, Mother.
Okay. Narasimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu, Suvarnangi Mataji, Subrat Spurti. Suvarnangi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat pranam, Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vedi tattvataha so vikalpena yogena yojyate natra samsayaha. Translation by His Divine Grace of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotion service. Of this, there is no doubt. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, no problem. Priyanka Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Etam vibhutim yogam cha mam yo veti tattvataha so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra sanchayaha. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, you
Okay.
can call Priyanka Mataji, still Priyanka Mataji. Instead of like for us, the name was totally changed. Isn't she
Yeah.
lucky?
I don't know. Sometimes they want it changed also.
Another thing, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. I wanted it to change, but it remained the same. I don't know.
So we can call her Haripriya then. Only Haripriya.
Yeah.
Because Mataji, I was saying I was telling Priyanka Mataji that she wanted to name Madhavi Krishna Priya. But Prabhuji selected Madhavi, that's why she kept Madhavi. So it's similar to Krishna Priya, Hari Priya she got, right? What a coincidence.
The spiritual master knows. Yeah, let's continue. Lokesh.
Itam vibhutam yogam cha mama. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Itam vibhutam yogam cha mama yo veti tattvataha sovikpena yogena yujyate natra samshayah. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhuji is it?
No, Mataji.
Okay. So did everyone recite? Did anyone not recite yet? I think everyone has recited. So just a little bit I will tell about this verse from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. I won't tell the whole thing today. We can discuss more in the coming days. just a little bit. So, in the previous text to this, let's see, 10:6. What does 10:6 say? 10:6 says, the 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages. The 7 great sages are the Saptarshis. Before them, 4 other great sages are the Kumaras, and the Manus come from me. Who's saying? Krishna is saying. The Saptarshis, the Kumaras, and the Manus, they all come from me, born from my mind. And all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. For example, the Manus, they are Manu is the father of mankind. There are 14 Manus in one day of Lord Brahma. All the Manus are coming from the Lord. Actually, they're coming from Brahmaji. Brahmaji came from the Lord. And all other living entities are coming from them. Of course, there are Prajapatis. So, the Prajapatis are coming from Brahmaji. Brahmaji is coming from the Lord. But here, especially, we are talking about the great sages, right? The Saptarshis and the Kumaras. So, what is the significance of the great sages and rishis? They know the Shastra, isn't it? Great sages and rishis, they know Shastra very well. So, this particular verse that we are memorizing this week, right? Etam vibhutim yogam cha mamayo vetti tatvatah. Anyone who knows my opulences and mystic powers factually, huh? Etam vibhutim yogam cha mamayo vetti tatvatah. Factually, one who understands. So, avikalpena yogena yujyate, he will engage in avikalpa yoga. One who knows the opulences and mystic powers of the Supreme Lord factually will engage in avikalpa yoga. Avikalpa yoga is pure devotional service. Of this there is no doubt, this verse is saying. Whereas the previous verse said that even great sages, the Saptarshis, okay, not exactly, okay, let me go back again. I'll just go to chapter 10. That way you can look at all the verses. Okay. So, text 2, what is text 2 saying? Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. They are coming from me, therefore they cannot know me. Isn't it? I think I explained this before when we were memorizing that shloka. That if the child wants to know about the birth of the father, can he know? He can only know when he hears from the father or even the father also, right? Or from father's mother. So similarly, anyone who is coming from the Lord, how he can know about the Lord unless he hears from the Lord directly? So everyone is coming from the Lord. The great sages, everyone is coming from the Lord. So they cannot know me. Then text 6 says, the 7 great sages and 4 other sages, Manus, they are all coming from me. They are coming from me again. So the point here is that what is it that everyone is not able to know? Of course, from Shastra, by studying Shastra, you can understand. You can understand that Krishna is the supreme, or by studying Shastra, you can get knowledge about the Supreme Lord. So does it mean that anyone who knows Shastra becomes a pure devotee? That's the point. Does anyone who knows the Shastra, does he become a pure devotee?
Can we simply read the Shastra and become pure devotees? If that is,
No.
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 If that is the case, then the four Kumaras, they're great sages, they should have become pure devotees. Simply by being great sages, they should have become pure devotees. Rather, they became Brahmavadis. They became devotees only when they came in touch with the devotees of the Lord and they smelled the tulsi, isn't it? That means simply knowing Shastra is not sufficient to become a pure devotee. That's the point. Okay? And then what does it mean to be a pure devotee? A pure devotee, he will accept the Supreme Lord's achintya nature. What is that achintya? He takes birth and he also does not take birth. He takes birth means, yes, he's the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. He actually took birth from Vasudeva and Devaki. A devotee accepts it. And at the same time, he is the supreme unborn. Ajopi san avyayatma. Krishna says, Aja, I have no birth. He will accept that Krishna has no birth, but at the same time, he will accept Krishna as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. He is born to Vasudeva and Devaki. He will accept both these equally. For not that he will accept that actually Krishna has no birth, but for some pastime he's just appearing like he's taking birth. You see? No. Or some other category of people, they say, yes, he's the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, but then after he dies, then it's over. It's just history. That's also a problem. And someone else says, well, his appearing, his body is material. When he appears as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, that's just a material body. Actually, he is that spirit inside that is unborn. So many different theories. They're not pure devotees. All these people are not devotees. A pure devotee will accept both. This is a pure devotee. So simply by knowing Shastra, one will not come to this point of accepting both things together. Okay? So, who can accept one whose bhakti virodha papa? Bhakti virodha papa is destroyed. What is bhakti virodha papa? You have some sinful activities which are against bhakti and they are blocking you from accepting this fact. You have some sins which are against bhakti, which will not allow you to accept the fact about the Supreme Lord. That means they are blocking your progress in bhakti. When your sins, which are against bhakti, when they are destroyed, that's when you will be able to accept both these, that he is born and he is also unborn. You'll be able to accept them equally. So, we will discuss further on this point in the next few days. I will stop here because we also have to read Srimad Bhagavatam. But we will continue on this discussion in tomorrow's session. So let's read Srimad Bhagavatam now. Actually, some devotees joined just now. Anyone who didn't recite the verse can recite. We are reciting Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, text 7. Neelambari Mataji, Medha, Saujanya Mataji. So one by one you can recite. Neelambari Mataji, you are able to recite? Medha, you can recite?
Yes, Mataji. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatvatah so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra samsayah. Translation: one who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Neelambari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam.
How are you, Mataji? I'll talk to you later. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yoveti tatvatah so vikalpena yogena yujjate natra samshaya. Translation: one who is factually convinced of the opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Saujanya Mataji and
Hare
Pragna.
Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam, Salgurus Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatvatah so vikalpena yogena yujyate natra samsayah. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Hare Krishna Mataji. Prajna is not.
Okay, Mataji. Are you reciting the verse?
एतं विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः सविकल्पेन विकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशयः. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Anyone else? I think everyone has recited. Let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 3. We are reading about Sukanya. So we read why we are reading about Sukanya. Can anyone tell me why we are reading about Sukanya? Yes, Inya.
Mataji, we're studying about the descendants of Vaishvatamana.
Okay. So who's Sukanya?
Daughter of Sharyat.
Sharyati. Yes. So Sharyati is who's Sharyati?
Son of Vivasvatamanu.
Yes. He's the son of Vaishvatamana. So this whole 9th chapter is talking about the descendants of Vaivasvatamanu. So first of all, Vaivasvatamanu had a daughter, and then the daughter was changed to a man. Changed to a man means Vasishta Muni turned the daughter into a man, but that man again became a woman, and then married Buddha, and then they had sons. And after that, Vaivasvatamanu, he performed tapasya for 100 years on the bank of the river Yamuna, and then he got 10 sons. So we are reading about the descendants of these 10 sons. So we read about it. So the 10 sons are headed by Ikshvaku, and then we read about Prishadra, Kavi, Drishta, Dishta, like that, and then their descendants, like Mandata, like that. And so now in the next chapter, chapter 3, we started reading about another son of Vaivasvatamanu called Sharyati. So Sharyati's daughter is Sukanya. That's how we ended up reading about Sukanya. So yesterday we saw that Sukanya was, once she went with her father to Chavana Muni's ashram in the forest, and she was picking some fruits with her friends, and in a hole made by the earthworm, she saw two glowing objects, and out of curiosity, and it is said as if pushed by providence, she just took a thorn and pricked those glowing objects. and to her surprise, blood started oozing from them. Meanwhile, the king's soldiers and ministers all of a sudden noticed that they were not able to pass stool or urine, and that air which pushes, right, stool urine out, that air is not functioning in the body. And the king, we learned about Sharyati that he was very learned in the Vedas, so much so that he would instruct the descendants of Angira Rishi how to perform the yagya, what procedures to adopt. So, being so learned, Sharyati could immediately understand that something is wrong, right? All the ministers and all the soldiers, you know, they are facing a grave problem. Certainly, there has been an offense done to Chavanamuni. So then he was trying to find out what happened. Did any of you do something here which is offensive to Chavanamuni? Then, with great fear, Sukanya was a girl, a young girl. She came to her father and, being very fearful, she said that how she pricked these two glowing objects and then blood was coming out. Immediately, Sharyati understood that those two glowing objects were the eyes of Chavanamuni. It was Chavanamuni who was sitting in that hole, maybe performing meditation. And Sukanya, out of ignorance, unknowingly pierced his eyes. So then this king Sharyati went to Chavanamuni and begged his forgiveness and tried to pacify him in various ways, saying that she's just an innocent, ignorant, child, and unknowingly she did this. Please forgive, because Chavanamuni is the son of Bhrigumuni and a very powerful rishi. He was completely capable of cursing. So Sharyati was afraid that the sage might curse him and his kingdom. So he tried to pacify him. It was my daughter who did this, please forgive. So Chavanmuni said, your daughter, is she married yet? Then again, Sharyati Muni, I'm sorry, King Sharyati, being very learned, understood the intention of Chavanamuni. When he said, is your daughter married? That means he would like to marry his daughter. Without saying anything, Sharyati offered his daughter in marriage. He did Kanyadan and gave her to Chavanamuni and immediately left that place with all his soldiers, lest the sage should curse him. So he just left that place immediately. And then we also read, now Sukanya was a young girl, Sharyati was a very old man. And I'm sorry, not Sharyati, Chavanamuni. Chavanamuni was a very old man, like her grandfather. But now he is her husband. Not only that, he was very irritable, always very, angry, like that. But Sukanya very carefully served her husband, not becoming bewildered. Now, we also discussed how being a young lady, young girl, having been brought up as a princess with so many maid servants, so many opulences, delicious foodstuffs, nice clothes and jewelry and ornaments. Now she's living in the forest with a sage, in austerity. She could have complained, she could have become morose, but Sukanya, a very beautiful girl, right? The description was she was lotus eyed, very beautiful. But and even though her husband was irritable and angry, she didn't become bewildered by that. but she continued to serve him. So there Srila Prabhupada brought out many important points in the purport about having a successful married life. So how the male body is made in such a way that they have this ego that they must, that Ishvara Bhavam is there. So therefore, uh, especially for, with respect to one's wife, so if that male ego is satisfied, how is that male ego satisfied? By allowing it, right? Being submissive. Then uh, the male person, the husband doesn't feel that his position is threatened as the superior, right? He doesn't feel that his position is threatened. And then he becomes conquered by his wife. By her submissive service, the wife is able to conquer the husband, and then she can get whatever she wants from her husband. So, being submissive and tolerating, even Srila Prabhupada says, even if the husband is cruel, tolerating this is actually a tactic for successful married life. And Sukanya, even though she was a young girl, she had this, and she continued to serve Chavanamuni very patiently. So, of course, we discussed other points also. So, if you have any questions, please listen to yesterday's class, and then after that, if you still have any further questions, we can discuss later. So, we'll continue from there. Now, next. कस्यचित् त्वथा कालस्य नासत्याव आश्रमागतौ तौ पूजयित्वा प्रोवाच वयो मे दत्तमीश्वरौ. Okay, Inia, you read yesterday. I think Jayashree Mataji also read yesterday. Did
Yes, Mataji.
did Jay Ganesh Prabhu read? He's not there, right?
Yes, Mataji.
So Isha, translation. Did you read yesterday, Isha? Huh? I also don't remember. Go ahead, read the translation.
Thereafter, some time having passed, the Ashwini Kumara brothers, the heavenly physicians, happened to come to Chavana Muni's ashram. After offering them respectful obeisances, Chavana Muni requested them to give him youthful life, for they were able to do so.
So like this, Chavanamuni and Sukanya were living in the forest. Then after some time passed, Ashwini Kumara brothers, who are Ashwini Kumaras? They're demigods, right? They're actually physicians, the twin brothers who are doctors, right? The Ashwini Kumara brothers, the heavenly physicians, happened to visit Chavanamuni's ashram. After offering them respectful obeisances, Chavanamuni requested them to give him youthful life. He's an old man, so he requested these heavenly physicians, can you make me young? Like that. Why he asked them? Because they had the power to do that. Ashwini Kumaras had that power. So Chavanamuni said, he requested, please make me young, youthful again. Purport. Krishna Sush.
The heavenly physicians, like the Ashwini Kumaras, could give youthful life even to one who was advanced in age. Indeed, great yogis with their mystic powers can even bring a dead body back to life if the structure of the body is in order. We have already discussed this in connection with Bali Maharaj's soldiers and their treatment by Shukracharya. Modern medical science has not yet discovered how to bring a dead body back to life or bring youthful energy to an old body. But from these verses, we can understand that such treatment is possible if one is able to take knowledge from the Vedic information. The Ashwini Kumaras were expert in Ayurveda, as was Dhanvantari, in every department of
material science, there is a perfection to be achieved. And to achieve it, one must consult the Vedic literature. The highest perfection is to become a devotee of the Lord. To attain this perfection, one must consult Srimad Bhagavatam, which is understood to be the ripe fruit of the Vedic desire tree. Nigama kalpataror kalitam phalam.
Yes, very interesting purport. So, how beautifully Srila Prabhupada brought out the point. So here the point is, the Ashwini Kumaras were able to bring back uh, youth to the old Chavanamuni. How they are able to do that? That's a science. It is possible. What to speak of an old man being made into a young person, and we saw it in many other places actually, right? Who was that? King Yayati, right? He gave his youth to his father, uh, and then also who else? Um, okay, so Prabhupada is saying what to speak of making an old man into a young man. Even a dead person can be brought back to life. That we saw, right?
And also Saugari Muni.
Ah, Saugari Muni, correct. When he married, yeah, Saugari Muni. And bringing dead back to life. In Ramayana we see also, right? So it is possible. So the interesting point here is that in modern science, we have not come to that point yet. Who does not want to be young? Tell me. All the old people, they would like to be young. So they really dress up like young people, don't they? Right? With all the makeup and their dressing and their hairstyle, it's obvious that they would like to look young. What if they could actually become young? Wouldn't they like it? But the modern technology has not yet come to that point where you can make an old body into a young body. And what to speak of making a dead person into a living person? We have not come to that point yet. Huh? What are we taught in schools? We are taught that the Vedas, this mythology, right? And that is primitive, whereas we are advanced. But it is just the opposite in reality. The Vedas, uh, the Vedas are the ultimate source of all knowledge. And what type of knowledge? It's non-defective knowledge. There is no defects in that knowledge. Whereas the knowledge that we get from research, scientific research, that knowledge is defective. It's defective. That's the reason why it keeps changing. Somebody discovers something today, and a couple of years later, another person discovers that what this person previously has discovered is wrong, and he has come with new information. And all our textbooks change. We all have this experience as we were growing up. Social studies books, science books, they're always upgraded because there is whatever was invented before that has been, it's changed now because that's not so up to date anymore. That knowledge is now not applicable in the present situation. This shows that this knowledge is defective. Whereas the knowledge that you get from the Vedas has no defects. The Vedas give all types of knowledge for all types of people, whether it is a demigod or an American or Chinese or Indian or African, someone who's very learned, someone is completely illiterate, everyone. There is, so what do you mean by knowledge, by the way? That's another big question. Knowledge. You need knowledge to do anything in this world. If you want to cook, you need knowledge, don't you? You need to know. Let's say I want to make aloo sabji. First of all, I should know what is aloo, right? Where to get it. All this is knowledge. And then after that, how to peel. I have to have this. We take these things for granted. But if you really think about it, every small thing needs knowledge. For all types of dealings in this world, you need knowledge. Where do you get this knowledge from? All this knowledge comes from the Vedas. The point that I'm trying to get at is all knowledge is there in the Vedas. So one may ask, Mataji, do the Vedas also have knowledge about uh, how to make a laptop, how to make a computer? You can ask, right? Because we are so proud that we have invented a laptop and we have invented these smartphones. Do the Vedas tell us how to invent these things, how to make the iPhones and whatever else we have, tablets and trains and airplanes? Yes, yes. All this knowledge is there in the Vedas, and not just this knowledge. What we are so proud of today, of inventing so many things, the Vedas has much, much more knowledge than this. Much more knowledge than this. That's the point, right? We are proud that we are able to treat cancer and we are able to, what else? So many things we are able to treat. We have made so much advancement. Back then we were not able to do. No, the Vedas can even teach you how to bring a dead person back to life. Have you done that yet? And even what you are proud of, whatever you are proud of creating and discovering and inventing now, where did you get all that knowledge from? Think about it. The scientists, so we have discussed this in the past also, right? Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Shabda. So scientists, whatever they discover is coming from Anumana. Anumana means they observe the various phenomena in nature, and by their observation they make certain rules, and using those rules, now they invent new things. So their invention is based on what? Their observation of nature. How nature should function, right? For example, right, human beings should have two hands and two legs, and how digestion takes place. All this is part of material nature. Who decides how the nature should function? It's there in the Vedas. How can you say this? Lord Brahma created, isn't it? Lord Brahma created people, Lord Brahma created animals, demigods, everything. How did Lord Brahma create? Tell me how Lord Brahma created. Lord Brahma also has a life. After his 100 years, that's the end of this life for Brahma, that living entity, right? If he becomes a devotee, he goes back. According to his destination, he'll go. And then there's new creation. Some other living entity takes birth as Brahma. How this Brahma knows what he should do? That this liquid water should be called water and water is used to quench thirst. How he knows all this? Because all this knowledge is there in the Vedas. Everything is there in the Vedas. From the Vedas only Brahmaji knows how to create and everything. That means all knowledge is there in the Vedas. Whatever we are proud of today of atom bomb, not atom bombs. What bombs do we have now? Nuclear bombs. This knowledge is also there in the Vedas. It's also there in the Vedas. And not only this, much, much more than this is there. It's called Abhichara, Abhichara Yoga. Abhichara Yoga means the Vedas teach us how to kill a person. So there's knowledge about nuclear bombs and everything. So now you may say, so where can I find this information in the Vedas? How to make laptops? You can ask me, right? Actually, the Vedas have, okay, what is 1 crore? 1 crore is 10 million. Okay, 10 million is 1 crore. What is 100 crores? 1000 million, right? 1000 million. So that means 1 billion. There are 1 billion verses in the Vedas. How many verses do we have now available to us? Only 4,000. Now you see, 1 billion and what we have is only 4,000. Why we have only 4,000? Why we don't have all 1 billion? Because of our capacity. Small babies, they cannot eat solid food. So they are only given soft food. They are only given milk. Similarly, we, Kali Yuga people, are not so advanced. So the rishis and sages, they access the Vedas, right? How do they access the Vedas? There are statements in the Veda, in the scriptures itself. There are statements how the rishis are accessing the Vedas. They perform tapasya. They perform tapasya, and that Vedic knowledge is revealed to them. And then they speak that Vedic knowledge, and we receive the Vedas. Now, these rishis, they don't give all the knowledge according to time, place, and circumstance. Whatever we are capable of taking, that much only they give. So, therefore, we have only 4,000 slokas of the Vedas. So, anyway, coming back to our discussion here, the Ashwini Kumaras, they can make an old person into a young person. So you may not think that, oh, this is fantasy, right? It is a fairy tale. No, no. It's a fact. It is possible. We don't know that science. That's the whole point. The Ashwini Kumaras are expert in Ayurveda, just like Dhanvantari. And the important point Srila Prabhupada is saying here, in every department of material science, there is a perfection to be achieved. Yes, we have not achieved the perfection yet. We are trying because our approach is wrong. In material science, our approach is based on pratyaksha and anumana. What is pratyaksha? Direct perception. What we can see with our senses, what we can conceive with our senses. That much only we accept as truth. And Anumana, I told you, Anumana means based on your observation, you make rules. It's called Vyakti Jnanam. You make some rules. And based on those rules, now you invent new things. You find other, you get knowledge. By this, you cannot get perfection. Why? Because there is defects. What are the defects? Pratyaksha means with your senses you are perceiving the knowledge. The senses themselves are defective. They are limited, they are imperfect, right? There's cheating tendency, illusion. The defects are there in the senses. Any knowledge which is coming based on the senses is defective. Therefore, we cannot come to perfection by this method. So, with this, you can understand whatever material advancement we have made, it is yet to achieve perfection in all departments. Very boldly, you can say. So, Prabhupada is saying here, all departments of material science, they are yet to achieve perfection. Then how can we achieve perfection? This perfection can be achieved by consulting the Vedic literature. Why Vedic literature? Because the Vedic literature, so there is Pratyaksha, Anumana, and third is Shabda. Shabda means you're getting knowledge from statements. Okay? Shabda literally means uh, the words, right? And every word has a meaning. And when those words are put together into a sentence, That arrangement of words gives you some knowledge. So the knowledge thus derived by either hearing or reading sentences, that knowledge is called, that knowledge is Shabda Bodha, but knowledge thus received is called Shabda Pramana. But all Shabda, whatever we read or whatever we hear, is not non-defective. But that sound, that statement which is coming from the Vedas, it is free from all defects. Therefore, if you want perfection in any material science, you must consult the Vedic literature. Whether it is medicine or it is, military sciences or economics or cooking, or any field. If you want perfection, you must consult the Vedic literature. The highest perfection is to become an. Now again, the Vedas give all types of knowledge within this universe for our dealings. Not only within this universe, even knowledge of things outside of this universe. Knowledge about who is God, what is his name, where does he live, what are his activities. This knowledge also we get only from the Vedas. So there is so much knowledge, and you have to achieve perfection in each field. You have to achieve perfection. Srila Prabhupada is explaining what is the highest perfection, what is the topmost thing that the Vedas are offering to us. The highest perfection is to become a devotee of Krishna. This is also being offered by the Vedas. The highest perfection is to become a devotee of the Lord. And to attain this perfection, what should we consult? Now again, Vedas are vast. So Vedas include, the four Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva Veda, and also the Puranas are also included in the Vedas. And of all these Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam is called Amalam Puranam. So it is established that whatever is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that is the ultimate. Even amongst the Vedas, if you find some statements which are contradicting Srimad Bhagavatam in some Puranas, for example, some people say, meat eating is allowed in Devi Purana or Shiva Purana. So, and then you're saying here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, you cannot eat meat. But we are also following non-defective Shabda. That is also Vedas. This is also Vedas. We can follow that. No. What is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, that is the ultimate. That is the topmost. If anything is contradicting Srimad Bhagavatam, that should be rejected, even if it is said in the Vedas. And of course, there's an explanation then why it is said in the Vedas. That's a whole different discussion. We won't get into that here. So therefore, the highest thing that the Vedas are giving us is how to become a devotee of the Lord. That is the highest thing. Now, if you want to know how to become a devotee, what should you consult? Which part of the Veda should you consult? You should consult Srimad Bhagavatam. It's such a beautiful purport. Srila Prabhupada, builds it, right? Starting with how Ashwini Kumaras could give youth to the old Chavana Muni. Srila Prabhupada brings it to becoming a devotee of Krishna by consulting Srimad Bhagavatam. So now we'll go to the next verse. Graham grahishye somasya yagye vam apya somapoh kriyatam me vayo rupam pramadanam yadipsitam. So Madhava read, right? Did you read? Yeah. So Rasapriya.
Savamani said, although you are ineligible to drink so much on sacrifices, I promise to give you a full pot of it. kindly arrange beauty and youths for me, because they are attractive to young women.
Huh. So you may wonder why Chavanmuni wants to become young, because he's married to a young lady and she was serving him so nicely, isn't it? That he is completely satisfied. She conquered his heart, so now he wants to serve her also. This is how it works. This is how it works. If the wife becomes submissive and serves the husband, then the husband's heart is conquered. Now he wants to please her, so he'll give whatever she wants. So he's thinking, oh, she's a young girl, young lady, and obviously she will also have a desire to have a nice, young, strong husband, handsome husband, right? So he asked Ashwini Kumaras, can you make me young? And he's not just asking it as a favor, he was going to offer something to the Ashwini Kumaras. So this I heard from His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj's lecture once, that the Ashwini Kumaras, being doctors, they were not considered. This is also again contradictory. In our in the present society, if somebody is a doctor, we think, wow, right? Doctors are very highly respected people. But in amongst the demigods, the doctors are like, like the Shudras. They're like low class. So much so that when all the demigods sit down to accept the, mm, the offerings and the nectar, the Ashwini Kumaras were not allowed. They are not qualified. They don't come in the category of demigods because they're just doctors like that. So Chavanamuni is saying to the Ashwini Kumaras, what is Chavanamuni saying? That although you are ineligible to drink Somarasa in sacrifices, right? You are not eligible to drink with the other demigods, you are not eligible to drink Somras in sacrifices. I promise to give you a full pot of Somras. I will give you. In fact, he made by his power. So Jamanmuni is very powerful. By his power, he gave them that honor. Now they are also counted amongst the demigods, and therefore now they are also able to partake of the somaras with the other demigods. And then, in return for this favor, Ashwini Kumaras would make Chavanmuni young, like that. So Chavanamuni said, although you are ineligible to drink somaras in sacrifices, I promise to give you a full pot of it. Kindly arrange beauty and youth for me. Why? Because they are attractive to young women. Make me handsome, make me young. Badham ityu chatur, sorry. Badham ityu chatur vipram abhinandya abhinandyabhishaktamau निमज्जतां भवान् अस्मिन् हृदे सिद्धा विनिर्मिते. So next Lokesh, or actually 1 second, Sonia Mataji.
The great physicians, the Swini Kumaras, very gladly accepted Chevan Muni's proposal. Thus, they told the Brahmana, just dive into this lake of successful life. One who bathes in this lake has his desire fulfilled. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. So, and they were very happy, right? Now they will be counted amongst the demigods, and now they'll be able to partake of the somaras. Of course, sure. Yeah, we can make you young. How? Just dive into this lake, and then you'll come out as a young man, like that. So then, next is, yeah, Lokesh. इत्युक्तो जरयाग्रस्त देहो धमनि सन्ततः हृदं प्रवेशितो स्विद्यां वलीपलित विग्रहः. Lokesh. Okay. Medha?
I can read Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
After saying this, the Ashwini Kumaras caught hold of Chavanamuni, who was an old deceased invalid with loose skin, white hair, and veins visible all over his body, and all three of them entered the lake.
Read the purport also, Mataji.
Mataji. Chavanamuni was so old that he could not enter the lake alone. Thus the Ashwini Kumaras caught hold of his body, and the three of them entered the lake.
That's how old he was. He couldn't even enter the lake on his own. His skin was loose, his hair was grey, he was really old. And then both Ashwini Kumaras caught hold of him on either side, and together the three of them entered into the lake. And then they came out. So what happened when they came out? Yeah, they entered the lake. Next. पुरुषास्त्रय उत्तस्थुर् अपि वनिता प्रियाः पद्मस्रजः कुण्डलिनस्तुल्यरूपः सुवाससः. Medha is there?
Yes, Mataji. There, Thereafter, three men with very beautiful bodily features emerged from the lake. They were nicely dressed and decorated with earrings and garlands of lotuses. All of them were of the same standard of beauty.
So three of them went, Ashwini Kumaras and Chavan Muni went, and when they came out, all three of them looked equally handsome. It was hard to tell who was who. And everyone had, beautiful garlands and earrings and nice clothes and very beautiful. Okay, three of them came out at the same time, and they all looked the same. Same means, yeah. तान्निरीक्ष्य वरारोह सरूपान् सूर्यवर्चसः अजानति पतिं साध्वी अश्विनौ शरणं ययौ. So after Medha, Narasimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Swami. Go ahead.
The chaste and very beautiful Sukanya could not distinguish her husband from the two Ashwini Kumaras, for they were equally beautiful, not understanding who her real husband was. She took shelter of the Ashwini Kumaras.
So Sukanya knew that Ashwini Kumaras had visited the ashram, and Chavan Muni asked, isn't it? So now they entered the lake and they came out. So she knew certainly two of them were Ashwini Kumaras, one was her husband, but she didn't know which was her husband. They all looked equally beautiful. She didn't know who was who. So what did she do? She prayed to the Ashwini Kumaras only. She took shelter of the Ashwini Kumaras for food. So others are there, Suhrit? Mataji,
Very good.
Prabhuji, yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. Sukanya could have selected any one of them as her husband, for one could not distinguish among them. But because she was chaste, and she took shelter of the Ashwini Kumaras, so that they could not inform her who
They
her
could inform.
actual they could inform her who her actual husband was. A chaste woman will never accept any man other than her husband, even if there be someone equally as handsome and the qualified. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So this is the quality of a chaste woman, right? She's chaste only to her husband. Even if someone else is, what to speak of, equally qualified, even if he is more qualified, more handsome, she will only be faithful to her husband. So Sukanya she had a good reason, right? She could have just selected any one of the three, and she had a good reason. She didn't know who was who, so she just chose one of them. But because she was chaste, she didn't want to accept anyone who was not her husband. So she's praying to Ashwini Kumaras. Please tell me who my husband is. Like that. दर्शयित्वा पतिं तस्यै पातिव्रत्येन तोषितौ ऋषिम् आमन्त्र्य ययतुर्विमानेनात्रिविष्टपम्. Spurti and Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandas pranams all to Srila Prabhupada. The Ashwini Kumaras were pleased to see Sukanya's chastity and faithfulness. Thus they showed her Chavana Muni, her husband, and after taking permission from him, they returned to the heavenly planets and their plane. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. So Sukanya prayed to Ashwini Kumaras. Please tell me who is my husband. Ashwini Kumaras were very pleased with her chastity and they showed her, right? So two of them, they showed, this is your husband. And then after showing her who her husband was, they took permission from Chavan Muni and they returned. They went back. So maybe we should stop reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Spurti is there also?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so let her read and then we can stop after that. Yakshamaanothar sharyatish च्यवनस्याश्रमं गतः ददर्शा दुहितुः पार्श्वे पुरुषं सूर्यवर्चसम्. Yeah, Purti.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thereafter, King Satyajit Sharyati, desiring to perform a sacrifice, went to the residence of Shavana Muni. There he saw by the side of his daughter a very beautiful young man, as bright as the sun.
Yes, so with that suspense we will stop. So now Chavana Muni became a young man, very handsome, very beautiful, and he's living with Sukanya in the ashram. Chavana Muni's ashram only they are living. So one day, Sukanya's father, Sharyati, wanting to perform a sacrifice, came to Chavana Muni's ashram. And what does he see? He sees his girl, his daughter, Sukanya, but she's not sitting with Chavan Muni. She's sitting with some very handsome young man next to another handsome young man who was so effulgent, he looked like the sun. So now you can imagine what the father is thinking. So we'll read that tomorrow. Now we will read Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, text 66. Yesterday we did 65. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajana namaskuru. This is the last instruction. 66 is the last instruction that Krishna gives to Arjun. Please repeat. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me.
And just surrender
I
unto
shall
me.
deliver you from all sinful reactions.
I shall deliver you from all sinful
Do
reaction.
not fear.
Do not fear.
Yes, this is the ultimate instruction given by Krishna. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So, what exactly this surrender means? Right? The surrender means when you surrender to Krishna, then you will only be doing pure devotional service. That means Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Janavritam Anukulyena Krishna Anushīlanam Bhaktiruttama. When one does that, that is called surrender. Then when you're doing that, you don't have to worry about any other type of religion. Just give up all other religion. Pativrata dharma, Desha dharma, whatever other dharma, student dharma, husband dharma, a wife dharma, a job dharma, right? Any type of dharmas we have, You can abandon all types of dharma if you are doing, if you are surrendered to Krishna. When you surrender, what will you do? 24/7 you will be doing only Shuddha Bhakti. And Krishna is saying that's his ultimate instruction. Become a Shuddha Bhakta. Surrender means what? Surrender means now you. So this will be elaborated by our acharyas. Of course, in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? This is the last message of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavatam begins from this message. Right? So abandon, and again, what ends with in Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita starts from this. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. One more important point here is that, so when Krishna says abandon all varieties of religion, when can you abandon all varieties of religion? When you surrender to Krishna. So you check yourself. Am I surrendered to Krishna or not? Surrender means what? Anyavilashita shunyam jnana karma janavritam anukulyena Krishnanusulam. Am I doing that yet or not? I'm not doing. I'm not able to do. Then can I abandon all religion? No, I cannot abandon. I must still be doing. So while doing that religion also, of course, we don't do elaborate dharmas, simplified dharmas as given by our acharyas. We have to still follow the dharmas, and while doing those dharmas, we should cultivate our shraddha so that we can come to the point of surrender. Once we surrender to Krishna, then there is no need of following any other dharmas. Okay? So don't get me wrong when I say that you don't have to do any dharmas. That is, you're not required. You're not required to do that if you come to pure devotional service. You're not required. But even though it is not required, still pure devotees do dharmas in this world for the sake of setting example for others. Just like Yudhishthir Maharaj, like the Pandavas, right? They still adhere to Kshatriya Dharma. They don't need to do that Dharma. It's not required for them. But still they do it just to set example. Okay, now let's reach the Prabhupada's purport. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Yes. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord has described various kinds of knowledge and processes of religion: knowledge of the Supreme Brahman, knowledge of the Super Soul, knowledge of the different types of orders and statuses of social life, knowledge of the renounced order of life, knowledge of non attachment, sense and mind control, meditation, etc. He has described in so many ways different types of religion. Now, in summarizing Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that Arjun should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. So, if you look at Bhagavad Gita starting from chapter 1, Krishna speaks about so many different topics. And finally, Krishna is saying, forget all that, whatever I have said. The Lord says that Arjun should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. He should simply surrender to Krishna. That surrender will save him from all kinds of sinful reactions. For the Lord personally promises to protect him. In the 7th chapter, it was said that only one who has become free from all sinful reactions can take to the worship of Lord Krishna. What is that verse? Yesham Twantagatam 728. Yesham Twantagatam Papam Antagatam Papam. Right? All sins have ended. Yesham Twantagatam Papam Jananam Punya Karmanam Te Dvandva Moha Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Diravrataha. Okay? So, only one who has become free from all sinful reactions can take to the worship of Lord Krishna. Thus, one may think that unless he is free from all sinful reactions, he cannot take to the surrendering process. Is that true? No. You don't have to become free from sin. All you have to do is be convinced that I should only do bhakti. I don't have to do anything else. Get full faith. That's all is required for you to enter into pure devotional service. But one may think First I should become free from sins, then I can become bhakti. Bhakta. To such doubts, it is here said that even if one is not free from all sinful reactions, simply by the process of surrendering to Sri Krishna, he is automatically freed. There is no need of strenuous effort to free oneself from sinful reactions. Right? You may think, I have to do this atonement, that atonement. No need. You just take shelter of Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. The sins, Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami. I will relieve you from all sins, Krishna says. One should unhesitatingly accept Krishna as the supreme savior of all living entities. With faith and love, one should surrender unto him. Well, we'll read the rest of the purport tomorrow because we're already going over time and we should read a little bit of Leela also. We'll continue the purport tomorrow. And let's read Srila Prabhupada Leela. Srila Prabhupada Leela. Okay. Yesterday we saw that how Srila Prabhupada is. Now he has 3 volumes. So he has means now he is printing the 3rd volume. And he gave a deadline. Like his target was by January of 1965, he should have 3 volumes. And having these 3 volumes of Bhagavatam, now he feels that now he can go to the West. He feels confident. I can go to the West now. Right? So books are important. Srimad Bhagavatam is important. Then Bhaktivedanta Swami met Mr. Agarwal, a Mathura businessman, and mentioned to him in passing, like casually he mentioned, as he did to almost everyone he met. It's not that he only said this to Mr. Agarwal. Anyone he met, Srila Prabhupada would say this, that he wanted to go to the West. Although Mr. Agarwal had known Bhaktivedanta Swami for only a few minutes, it's not like they're long time friends. He just met him. Although Mr. Agarwal had known Bhaktivedanta Swami for only a few minutes, he volunteered to try to get him a sponsor in America. Right? I will get a sponsor for you. It was something Mr. Agarwal had done a number of times. When he met a sadhu who mentioned something about going abroad to teach Hindu culture, he would ask his son Gopal, an engineer in Pennsylvania. We are all in Pennsylvania. He would ask his son Gopal, an engineer in Pennsylvania, to send back a sponsorship form. When Mr. Agarwal volunteered to help in this way, Bhaktivedanta Swami urged him, please do so. Srila Prabhupada. I did not say anything seriously to Mr. Agarwal, but perhaps he took it very seriously. I asked him, well, why don't you ask your son Gopal to sponsor so that I can go there? I want to preach there. But Bhaktivedanta Swami knew he would not simply dream of going to the West. He needed money. In March 1965, he made another visit to Bombay, attempting to sell his books. Again, he stayed at the free Dharmashala, Prem Kutir, but finding customers was difficult. He met Paramananda Bhagavani, a librarian at Jai Hind College, who purchased books for the college library and then escorted Bhaktivedanta Swami to a few likely outlets. Mr. Bhagwani. I took him to the popular book depot at Grant Road to help him in selling books, but they told us they couldn't stock the books because they don't have much sales on religion. Then we went to another shop nearby, and the owner also regretted his inability to sell the books. Then he went to Sadhu Vela near Mahalakshmi temple, and we met the head of the temple there. He, of course, welcomed us. They have a library of their own and they stock religious books. So we approached them to please keep a set there in their library. They are a wealthy ashram, and yet he also expressed his inability. when we read Srila Prabhupada's Leelamrita, we can actually get a glimpse of how much he had to struggle to give us what we have today. So we will stop here. Thank you all so much for joining this morning. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. I will see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.